Hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Just making sure everything is up and running. We are live. I am recording. Update the thumbnail if I remember correctly, and the title. I was good boy, correct? Yes, I think I was good boy. Oh, I forgot to change the number. Fudge. There we go. Because I still had it at stream 7. Okay, everything should be good. Hello, Leanna. How you doing? Making sure everything is up and working. Everything should be working. Everything should be good. Hey. Let me switch over to my screen cap. There we go. Like a peach. I'm doing good. Should probably move my cup of water. It's cold. It's cold. The room is really cold, so I'm just gonna be wearing my jacket for now, cause it's a bit chilly. So if I could just scroll down. Pre-trial prep. Did we get any more? Oh, we got breathing technique from Sakura. Focus gauge recovers more quickly. That's really good. Costs 4, but we have boosted, so that's really good. E-handbook. We don't need to look at anything. Room is the only room where the AC is working, so it's really hot in my room. The basement where where my room is. Sup, Jojo? Welcome to the stream. We're about to find out who killed a man. You were here for that, right? You were here when the murders started happening. Cause if not, you're about to be in for a surprise. Cause people heckin' died. If you couldn't tell by the fact that we're starting the trial. But yeah, Taka and Hifumi were hecking dead. So yeah, who do you think I'm talking to? You're the one who had to fall asleep. So yeah, Hifumi and Taka died. Now we're trying to figure out who it was. I know you fell asleep. There's a reason I just said I know you fell asleep. Also, I know I'm wait like 5-ish minutes. But whatever. Also, I'm ashamed that I put stream number 7 again. But we're gonna jump straight into the trial here.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out
wow, it's not like we've done this twice before.
Now then, to begin with,
We already know who did it.
was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place,
Should've.
and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them!
I didn't! Someone knocked me out! I was asleep the whole time! I don't know anything about it!
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
Oof.
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it, and all of it was found in your room. You have to admit,
You English
the evidence
so well.
is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know!
Is Hiro really the killer? By the way, I got up at like 9:30 and I'm still like borderline tired, but I want to see if this can wake me up. Is Hiro really the killer, or... Before anything else, we have to make that clear. I also have like world history notes to do after. I'm kind of disappointed now.
Everything we found in your room.
Denied.
The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
Denied.
I don't know anything
Denied.
about that stuff! It's not true! It's a conspiracy!
Denied. Fudge.
Hiro, why?
Denied.
Why did you kill them?
No! Just hold on a second!
Compelling evidence that Hiro is the killer. Is that really true?
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all...
No.
The blueprints were sketchy.
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say?
Bro, that's some Times New Roman.
When you compare it to the blueprints.
Times New Roman versus Comic Sans, who will win?
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on! I'm not smart enough to think of trying to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
And
No.
he's not the only one.
Ayo, hey, Mr. Cow, welcome to the stream.
What?
People heckin' dead. So now we're just talking. All you've missed is that we're pointing out that the blueprints and Hiro's handwriting don't look the same. So we don't think Hiro's the culprit.
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me.
So? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
His glasses, dude. If we're gonna die, I don't like him. The Illuminati. They're right. They're all working behind the scenes to try and set me up. Those dudes are super scary, for serious. Dude, obviously the Illuminati. I don't know what you're talking about.
I got it! Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
100% the
Then there
Illuminati.
can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't
I'm
do it.
so smart.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason?
I love how
do you have to
Genocide
make
Jill
such a
is for the
statement?
trials from now
You do
on.
have a reason, yes.
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
Sakura's the only one just kind of being chill in this
We
game.
must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items.
Could you, like, not play the pronoun game and just say it out loud?
Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
I hate you. That thingy. When Byakuya passes it off to you, but you just don't want to play the game.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right? So, let's... Taka's body disappeared from the equipment.
I love how it's like, we say the correct answer, it's like...
discovered it in the repository.
No.
And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp,
You gotta go.
right?
Well, have a good rest of your day if you don't join back. Goodbye.
It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That
Whoa.
way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly.
Dude, it's almost like they were moved together.
Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository,
I know, it's crazy.
so did the dolly.
Bro, it's too crazy for me. The party was good. It was really fun.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken? Huh? Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
You're an idiot.
There is no shame in being wrong.
How do you respond? Get insulted.
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Boy, who's the one leading these trials? Wow, I've never had anyone so nice while being so mean. You obviously never been to high school before, Makoto. But maybe I can change your mind. If I can just explain to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. Wow, another new element? Absolutely. Let's talk about reloading. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo meter, you'll... God, I can't speak. Underneath the tempo meter, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't been any limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements, but from now on, just locking and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Just like locking on, you'll have to press the tab key in time with the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the tab key now has a function along with the right mouse button and the left mouse button. You will automatically reload at the start of fever time and your ammo will not decrease. Oh, but if your action difficulty is set to gentle, you don't have to reload at all. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said. Well then, good luck and have fun. God, who does gentle, losers?
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool.
You are a fool.
Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch.
That's hurtful,
I cannot
man.
agree. You are a fool. Do your worst. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic.
I can't see! Temple up.
You miserable wretch. I cannot
Bro,
agree. You are a
I'm in the negative. I can't see what is going on.
worst.
I'm in pain.
You miserable wretch.
Oh, that worked.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Roasted. You're
If
very,
asking for proof
you're
that the
very
dolly
violent
moved,
when it comes to this
I
game.
have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread.
Nah, dude. That's what happens when you drag a body, obviously.
The killer probably rolled the dolly
You
through
you
the
drag
blood
them,
accident
and it's only
as
their
they wheeled the
shoulder
body
blades
out of the
sticking
room.
up like literal table things, and then that's what's dragging.
And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly...
Idiot. Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that
Well,
much?
Anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then
It's a killer guy. It's a killer in a robot
what
costume.
kind of robot is it?
I'm not
Duh.
sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
If I look at how the body was moved, it'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. Robo Justice costume. Huh.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Nah.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Oh no. Fudge. I didn't realize how many statements there were. Oops. There's a
we
lot of
know,
statements.
Taka was and from there.
Yeah, then loaded it
Yeah,
onto
they
the
loaded
dolly.
onto the
Keep
dolly.
in mind that the dolly doesn't.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
Incorrect.
It's wrong.
I'm gonna take off the
You're
jacket now.
absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could
Bend over.
actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
Music picks up. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. Surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at
That's
the
a
waist.
sucky
Am
cosplay.
I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
You're in the suit just kicking the body along. Like you're waddling, you can't even bend over. You're just like kicking the dolly constantly trying to move it.
Well, what's to stop you from seeing
Oh my-
the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
I completely forgot about that part. Okay, so when it comes to this game, I remember the very overarching twists, like the big ones. Like, I know who dies, and I know who the culprit for each case is. However, the little tiny details, I don't remember.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Just use your feet again.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
Here's some weakling.
I got it!
Once it's on, you can never take
I
it
don't
off.
think taking off the suit was an option.
Cursed costume.
If you remember,
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you cannot take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid freaking thing. And try to kick the body and falling over and just face planting, and then you can't get up. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Again, I'm doing breathing exercises. My chest has been kind of sore lately.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have
I
been
have
Hiro
2
in
metal
the
bars
robot
in my
suit,
chest.
correct?
That's my excuse.
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. What guy? Robo Justice, that's why I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individual inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion.
Get idiot.
Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it before we rush to a verdict. Shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Both of them crossing their arms together like, oh, you're not cool enough to sit with us.
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe
Oh
we'll
dude, that's a
uncover
good book
something new.
series.
What a pain in the ass!
Hit
Don't
me.
disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened.
She was the killer.
I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up. So we went to look for
Jesus,
everyone.
Jojo.
That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became
God, I
clear
love Sakura's
that this
voice.
same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi.
I will save Gotham City.
We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Her, like, she has, like, metal claws on her fingers. It's, like, it's weird. That was rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further into the hallway and disappeared.
and then...
Young. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. That must have been... Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad, come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the
That's a lot of
discovery
blood.
I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just
Nurse
discovered
is the
Taka's body in
case
the equipment
closed.
room.
Who's the butler?
We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
Oh god, all the bodies! This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing.
Invasion of the Body
Next
Snatchers.
thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated.
At Danganronpa.
It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well,
Celeste.
if that's true, then what?
You are very, very violent. I thought you said the nurse did it.
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth in this case, I have to find them. Oh, God.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Fudge. Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that.
Shoot!
Shoot! Ah! Fudge!
So, regarding I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know.
I always need to like
Taka
wait
came
till the
last.
end before doing anything.
It's true that while Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Oh.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps...
I'm gonna look. Okay, Monokuma. Killed with a similar weapon. And then Yasuhiro's message is that. Yeah, that's not it.
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Is it just that what order?
Because of the numbering of.
It's true that while
Taka's death
came from...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after. So, I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed in.
Fudge.
Shoot!
Okay. Got
So,
to think.
regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after.
We already know what Taka came last.
What makes you say...
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with while Taka's death came from a...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death,
I wonder if he, or perhaps it was. We already know what order Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that while Taka's death...
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
Okay, so we have the numbering.
I wonder if, or perhaps it was. We already know what order they were killed.
Hey! Figured it out. I am smart boyo.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
Big brain murders.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
I wonder. The thing that was in the... was one of my bullets.
Now I understand.
Yasuhiro.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Hey, you! How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointing pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that. Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly
Yeah,
why
idiots.
the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
Oh, great.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at
Oh, they're
least,
smart.
we're all
I would
safe.
then just be like, nope, thank you. Just kill me, please. First one to die, because then you just go up to the person that wants to get out. It's like, hey, here's a knife. Go ahead. What was that? We already talked about this.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on!
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making
Oh, no.
stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then!
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's because, as we just
telekinesis,
established, she was passed
idiots.
out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, in particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said...
I just now have, like, the thing in my head. We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the
What if
third
he just slipped and died?
in that short amount of time?
Dummy.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, he
There's no
slipped
way.
and died
It's
and then
impossible.
slipped all the way up 2 flights of stairs that are opposite sides of the school and put himself in a room.
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Very close to the mic.
The dead body moved on its own?
Zombies.
No, not another.
Hecking
I don't
zombies.
think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is
Zombies, because these zombies don't have to do with the occult.
we thought
Moron.
Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean,
Boom.
we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? The collective freaking out, where it's like some people are confused, some people are angry, and then that guy's just like, oh my god!
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
What's Celeste's account? He's a hecking prankster.
there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that.
Did you check his pulse?
Surely you heard the body
Did
discovery
you
announcement
perform the
along with
autopsy?
rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first there's a chance he would?
No,
It is Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body that
Hifumi's dead body had...
and that is. Are we really? Maybe the
Announcement was intended to signal
Someone else's discovery.
Body discovery announcement was only made once, I'm sure.
Are you saying that when we first found there's a chance he was actually still?
No. Hifumi was dead, and you know that. Surely you heard the body that Hifumi's
Dead body had been found.
Yeah! When pranking someone goes wrong and you actually die.
Was the
Oof.
body discovery
That
announcement
reminds
that
me
was
of
made really
this
intended for Hifumi?
Tomska video where it's like epic pranks.
Of course it was.
And it's like
The
shows someone
announcement
trying to
played
prank
right
his
after
like
we discovered
girlfriend,
his body.
and then it just gets progressively worse as like the relationship decreases, and it's like she ends up breaking up with him and then dating and marrying someone else.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy book.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement
Do
again.
you get to kill anyone? No spoilers.
If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement. The first time played was when each body in the when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. The second time was when
I got it!
both bodies had been
We
rediscovered.
heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
No spoilers. None. You get 0. A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin!
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what
No
Monokuma
spoilers.
just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually
I'm not dead yet. Monty Python, the Holy Grail.
Meaning
Actually, I
he
feel
wasn't actually
fine.
dead
Let me
until
go
we
take a
came
walk.
upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other
Sorry,
thing
someone
that
sent
leads
me
me
a
to
message.
believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Don't eat my phone at me.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom!
That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body,
Exit.
in the repository.
But when you compare
Sewer
his
slide.
body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned,
Fudge. Oh. Shut up. Stop it with your pointless words.
here's
My
what I think.
words
The first
aren't
time we
pointless.
found
They
him
have a
dead,
point because
while me
they're
and Celeste were in
bullets.
the bathroom,
Okay?
His body disappeared.
You are
And the next
incorrect.
time, it was in the
But when you compare his body before, other than the change in how it was put, there was no notable difference.
Ding dong.
No,
Y'all are
it's
wrong.
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can. I got it!
Because only the weeb
It was a
would
glasses
have an
cleaning
anime
cloth
glasses
featuring a
cleaning
certain
cloth.
cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it?
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
See your
Like
point. And
this.
the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Or your tongue, because apparently it's long enough to actually reach.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses?
That's a
Whoa.
good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
Why you have to say walk? He could have crawled.
Pretending to be dead.
Starts arguing with every little thing. Also, I'd like to point out the discrepancy. Look how thin his ankles are. Look how thin the stream disconnected. Is everything back? Everything back for you guys? It must have dropped. We good? Everything back? Okay. Because it came up that the stream had, like, dropped.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot.
And if Hifumi
Hecking
was still
idiot.
alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Taka was also alive.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside, which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case.
Oh boy.
He was one of the assailants.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
Cause he's dumb. Oh, stole. Okay, oops. I said what Taka still had in his hand.
I got it!
I got it!
You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away.
Boom!
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it
Knowledge
stuffed in
dropped.
his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now.
just
Take a look at
ignore.
what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we could use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait. This one's a
Because
little
Kyoko is
different.
very,
My note
very
said,
thorough with the body search.
Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell
I mean,
anyone
that's how
else
we
for
found
now.
out Chihiro
Let's
was a
meet in the
guy.
rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro. And that person could only have been... I got it!
Taka. Hifumi's
That's
pants.
right. Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Dude, I wanna go talk to Fumi's pants for a bit.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
Just to be clear, TikTok is
What do
Taka
you think?
and Huffy is Hifumi.
Ugh, yes! Why must you ruin it every
Exactly.
time?
Don't know why I'm agreeing with a serial killer, but exactly. Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still. Can't let her get to me. Oh, 5 this time. Jesus.
Happy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Happy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Annihilated with the same piece of evidence we have already brought up.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
No, that's wrong.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
Whoa.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place, written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me.
Whoa.
The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found
I'm Hiro, and I'm a pouty
But if
boy.
they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
I mean, the piece of evidence I tried to give earlier, but apparently wasn't freaking good enough.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper.
Add that detail of the lifeless.
If I'm
Thanks.
right about this,
We didn't realize it
the
was a
shape where
corpse.
this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note.
You
we
had
found hidden
both
on
pieces of
Hifumi.
evidence, and you didn't try to line it up earlier?
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup. They're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only
Death grip,
one
get it.
small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa, yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive!
Whoa!
Sorry, no.
No. He heckin'
When we
died.
found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
That's the question.
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together.
Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Wow.
Call it a walrus.
Anyway, when they were
That's
killed
harsh.
bothers me too.
She
But
doesn't
there's
even have a
something that's been
beard.
bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right?
Dang, Hero's as
So if
dumb as we
Hifumi
thought.
was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either. The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi? What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Fudge. Oh, stab your seriously adorable face off. Oof.
What was used? Was it maybe Justice?
Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody...
Sounds like a Justice Hammer. Check out murdergear.com.
Well, one thing. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
Incorrect.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But,
Boom.
seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris, but for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder.
Whoa.
If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then
Wait,
used
that's
a
my
hammer
head
to
getting cut
kill
off.
him.
Whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him.
Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous.
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Oh, well then. I don't think any of these are going to be useful.
That have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible
Oh, I didn't mean to
that
shoot
two
that.
people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were 2 murders.
Is the possibility of an accomplice really that insane? Or is there some chance?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for
Even if more than one, only the one who actually assuming
The rule holds true.
it is simply impossible.
Not impossible. Nothing is impossible. Except someone getting out of this. Everyone
Since
getting
there
out
were
of this
2
alive.
murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in a scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you.
Someone found out someone killed someone, the first someone killed the second someone. There we
However,
go. Boom.
if there
That wasn't
were
confusing
some
at all.
potential mutual reward for the risk,
Take a shot
then
every single time
cooperation
Jojo says
becomes
someone.
possible.
you're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime, and based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents.
Don't you love it when it gets complicated?
And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice
Admittedly, it's a good murder plan. The effort made to convince us the two murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed that fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing. I have a major crush on her. Not sure if I'm going to tell her, but eventually. Although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. You know what? She's the most amazing girl I've ever met in my life. You know what? Screw Sayaka. She never meant anything to me anyway. She tried to frame me for murder. I'm going to go marry Kyoko now. Wait, what? Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up until now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems fit. Wait, what's the question? Oh fudge. Oh god, what's the question? Someone go back, tell me what the question is, I'm not ready. Oh god, it's too quick. Are we selecting who did the... Okay, I'm gonna leave it up to you, because I know who did it, but, you're going to have to pick the answer to this question, because I don't want to accidentally spoil it. So, you pick the people, because, I don't want to spoil it. So, you choose who you think did it. Because I think that's what we're supposed to pick. But just in case I'm wrong on what the question is, I don't want to accidentally spoil it. Because I wasn't paying very close attention. So, just type in chat. Because, I was a freaking idiot. I mean, I could technically go back and check the stream, but you know. The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end murdered him. In the debates up until now, the way the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's really only one person who seems to fit. That's literally the question. We're choosing who we think the murderer is. I want to leave it up to y'all. That's gonna be fun. Watching you guys debate on who the murderer is. I want to see that. Come on, guys. I believe in y'all. Pick who you think now. Don't care. Pick a person. Go. I don't care if you don't know. Let's just say when I was playing this the first time, I had no freaking idea either. Who you think hacking did it? I'm glad I have DVR on, though, because, if I didn't have DVR on, I would be dead in the water. Pick who it is, y'all. Sorry that it's a boring screen right now, but you know, I don't want to, like, have it going for, like, a minute and then it run out of time. Just say the name. Don't even vote. Just say the name. There is no voting. First person to pick gets to pick. If you're wrong, someone else gets to pick, or you get another guess. Okay, so we'll pick Hiro. What? Is it all coming back to me again? Hold on. Haven't we already shown that there's absolutely no way Hiro could have done this? She's right. Hiro was in the robot costume when everything went down. For serious? I'm just a tragically modified Hiro who longs to become human again as soon as possible. No, you're still a human for now. Anyway, if Hiro's not the killer, then looks like I just embarrassed myself in front of everyone. True killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up until now, the way that the case has unfolded, when you consider all that, there's only one real person that seems to fit. So you're saying Byakuya? Okay, we'll pick Byakuya. Are you confident in your assertion? Huh? Perhaps you should take a second and think it through again, more slowly this time. Both of y'all are wrong. Pick again. Try again. Try again. I'm not gonna click it until you guys choose someone. Who do you think? Go. Celeste, because she sucks. Okay.
Here's my answer.
Boom!
It was Celeste.
Hello, Celestial. Welcome to the stream. How's it going?
So I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
Boom!
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi. The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brain fat, lazy, worthless, goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
She got very aggressive there. But, how y'all doing today? She was my favorite character.
There is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is.
Goodbye,
Throughout
sucker.
the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Was it that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common?
I got it!
Encountering the suspicious individual.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Wow, I'm the one who, like, pointed out that Celeste might be the killer, but now you're...
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's
a
office,
lie.
we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen.
I hate Byakuya.
Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
We already went over this. I saw him, the strange costume man.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Alright, went over it. Hifumi. What? Oh, fudge. Stupid you play. I don't want you.
It was to get us to divide into two groups. So that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
Wait, I want to check something real quick. Yeah, okay, I have Streamlabs up.
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split into two groups?
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on.
Ha-ah!
That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the 3rd floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
Certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it.
Oof.
Everything. The whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kinda sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed.
I really like this case. Like, it's not my favorite. It's definitely not my favorite in the game.
Wouldn't you agree,
But
Celeste?
I do like this
I
case.
have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking
trying
about
to
what you
remember
said
what
after Hifumi's
he's
body
talking about too.
disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must be really enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die, just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to explain too.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together,
Oh!
about Taka being dead.
Oh my god. I forgot about that.
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about that too.
I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment didn't make sense, but what is he alluding to? Oh, I get it. I get it. I completely forgot about that comment.
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it? What was so strange about Celeste's comment?
Oh, that is... I love the things that are just tiny slip-ups.
Really
The same thing
enjoying
with
this.
Mondo's case.
Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and...
They must be. We are all going to. We are going to die.
Just like...
No, that's wrong.
Those guys. Taka, he shouldn't have known that Taka was
right.
dead.
There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like
She should have
those
only
guys
knew
died.
that Hifumi had died.
When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. So there was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you
I
know,
love the
Celeste?
tiny slip-ups like that, where it's like, you would be able to solve the case beforehand if you just noticed that tiny, tiny detail.
How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have
You're an
possibly
idiot,
hidden
Hiro.
the past. I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
We've obviously shown that there are other explanations. You've said this multiple times during this class trial. Jojo, if you need explanation, I'll explain. If you need it. The only other possibility is Fumi and the suspect are dancing. Fumi and the suspect had been drinking. They were just absolutely drunk, leaning on each other, trying to get back.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
Boom!
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the
I'm
person in the
disappointed that
robot
this isn't the first time I've played it. Because then I would be able to go in where it's like, oh my god, I'm super confused the entire time. But, my enjoyment comes from watching y'all. Or just unleashing the bombshells. Because it's like, even though I'm playing through this game again, it's the little things where it's like going back through and it's like, you know everything that's gonna happen in the trial. Or you know, like, the beats of what's gonna turn out. But then forgetting the specifics of it. And then, going along for the ride of being able to, once you already know who the culprit is, being able to look and see what could have led you to believe it. Because once you know the answer, if you play it again, then if you like look around and it's like, oh, this person's being suspicious here, they're being suspicious here, this is a suspicious thing that they said / did.
We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
It's the best part, okay?
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Probably one of the best twists of this case is still coming up.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is it really possible? Probably one of my favorite things is coming up. Because it's kind of stupid, but at the same time it's pretty good.
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way
They could stand up straight?
We've been over this.
No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
We've been over this. You can't bend at the waist.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
I actually forgot about that part, because it's like, why would they have designed the suit to be set up like that if you wouldn't have been able to use the suit in the murders?
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Checkmate?
Oh god, and the camera spins.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate?
Celeste?
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem.
I hit you play again. Freaking.
Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro.
In other words, Yasuhiro Hagafure!
Wait, but my name isn't really Yasuhiro. It's actually Taro.
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
He did say Yasuhiro, but are we sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last name!
Exactly. I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for
Let it
example.
sink in. Let it sink in.
So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name.
Indecent?
Don't talk.
Random
Don't
chance.
talk.
Now isn't that a convenient No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal, but he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could
Yeah?
apply to, and that's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
And checkmate.
What did you just say? To think you'd take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit.
Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you? Well, do I?
Apparently.
What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up!
Her last name isn't on screen.
Is Celeste Ludenburg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up. So then, I have to do something to make her accept it.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something. He wanted us to know the killer's last name, Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
How many times do I have to tell you? My name is Celeste Ludenburg. God damn it!
It's upside down.
How long do you
I gotta
think
turn
you
my
go on
neck.
pretending?
I love and
I'm
hate
not
this.
pretending.
Cause it's like, whoa, this is some good twist.
You have no way to contradict me.
Incorrect.
No, that's wrong.
It's like, you love this because it's like, oh my god, it's all making sense. And then you hate this because it's like, I don't know what's going on.
Handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital to a healthy school life, so don't lose it. When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one. Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crime. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Ending moment. Yeah, this trial isn't as long as the first one. In this case, how did the... Was it seduction? What? What was it? Was it just that? What time? Oh, Rec Room, 1 AM. There we go. Or was it that the killer summoned first? That's Yasuhiro, which is over here. Knocked him out and stuffed him in a Robo Justice suit. And they used a certain item to do it. Just mean... What do you mean they used a certain item? Oh, frame. Got it. It was Justice Hammer 4. Wait. Oh, no. That's just Hammer 4. And then... Time, it was 6. Fake the existence of a shadowy criminal. Oh, Justice Hammer 2. Three. Emergency yeet. Okay, both of them dead. Use something. It's the... dolly. Weapon, and it was the... this one. Yeah, put everything together.
Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
Hifumi's face is
With
just
an
the
accomplice,
worst thing.
The killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Was Hiro,
That actually reminds me of freaking Lancer from Delta.
The murderous duo intended to
Just
pass
the
Hiro
shape of
off
the
as
head.
prime suspect. They drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him, while the killer
scared.
used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him,
That was a
they
dumb
shoved
idea.
him, still unconscious, into the pool room.
It's a dumb idea.
And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan. They called Taka to the equipment room.
Dude, Hifumi's face is terrifying.
And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the
I would
first
rather
murder.
not look at Hifumi's face.
The murder weapon was Justice
And look at
Hammer
those
4,
look at those
which was
ankles.
left there in the
You see how
equipment room.
skinny those are? Those suckers should break.
The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crime. So, next they falsified 2 more assault incidents. For these attacks, the killers pretended to be the victims, to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect.
How's he? We've been over this. The suit can't bend at the waist. So if someone were unconscious, they'd be forced to stand up.
The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story.
No, his legs. Well, if you're standing up, then your legs are supporting you. I don't think it's able to like bend back too far. It'd be easy to like balance someone like that. If not, you'd be able to like push up and make it look like they were standing up.
With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people.
Oh yeah,
with
I have
order
no
as they
idea.
did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. While we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator.
What was
and
that
Justice Hammer
noise?
3
That is not the noise of someone throwing blood everywhere.
and turned the room into a crime scene, in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found. Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement...
Oh, okay, I
we
want you to look
naturally
at
assumed it
everyone's
was for
face.
Hifumi.
Everyone's surprised, and then we have Byakuya, who looks disgusted, and then Sakura, who looks like she just doesn't care.
We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room.
Yeah. Dude, I see these every day.
He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository.
Excuse me.
That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act.
Oof.
Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
I just feel the worst for Taka, man.
sorry. You lose.
You couldn't... That's the best finishing line you got? Not, sorry, checkmate? I'm disappointed, man. You could've roasted her.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celeste Ludenburg. Actually, no. Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Ooh!
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
And her voice just changes.
Interesting.
Taika Yasuhiro. Oh yeah, execution time, boys. 120
Okay,
medals,
Monokuma.
Jesus.
I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
Her voice changed so hard. No longer the fake accent.
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote, okay? Oh, if you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened?
You've never seen an execution? This... I'll be honest, the executions in this game aren't as good as the later games. I'll be entirely honest. But this is probably average when it comes to executions. It's a pretty good one, but not the best. I know which execution is my favorite. And that won't come until game 3.
Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully
Okay,
wrong
V3
one?
has some
What's it gonna be?
excellent
What's it gonna
executions.
be?
V3 has probably my favorite executions. If you can have a favorite. Congrats, Celeste, or should I say... Fudge, what was her name again? It's basically a formality at this point, but once again, you're totally correct. The blackened this time, the true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was... Celestia Ludenburg, or perhaps, precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro.
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's impetude was beyond all my calculations.
I knew it.
Taiko? Yeah, that's her real name. Celestial Ludenburg is not her real name. Celeste is not her real name. Her real name is Taiko Yasuhiro. It's a pretty intense one, though. It's a pretty good one. So did you really approach Hifumi with this plan? But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have been happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty. Lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I don't need to lie to get him to agree.
So then...
Then did you use... you know? I knew you'd figured it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. It's him, but okay. For everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Taka were both super into. Does she mean... is she talking about alter ego?
Say what?
What? What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt. We're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop, as usual. How sad.
In other words...
Then you're the one who stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
Then you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan you come up with. Right again? Last night, after we had our meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. Oh, what are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you. Alone. It is about what was stolen. I know who did it. What?
are you okay
It was
with this?
Taka. He stole it. What?
So
And I have
then,
proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I had found a use for the digital camera. I had taken you-know-what to Taka's room earlier and taken pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I showed it to Hifumi, of course.
Damnation!
So it was him. How'd he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it.
Say what?
What?
as for me,
Please forgive me. He threatened me.
Oh,
He did?
as for me,
He came to my room last night unnoticed. Then, it's hard for me to even say. He abused me. What? And he took pictures. He said that if I did not do as he asked, he would show them to everybody. So, I had no choice.
Damnation!
That's a crime, an absolute crime. I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far. Oh, God. That's awful. That's awful to lie about. That's just awful. That's almost as bad as Byakuya. I'm not sure which is worse. They're both equally unforgivable. I was amazed how he completely bought it. I can't express how enjoyable that was. Yeah, dude. Byakuya and Celeste are just unforgivable characters to me. You hit a certain point and do something that awful, and for the reasons that they did it, it's unforgivable. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. Oh, Jesus. That's when you know Hifumi is snapped. I'm going to kill him.
most unfortunate.
Wait, please. If you go now, you will be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually,
Taka is planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target.
What?
Escape? You don't mean... What did Byakuya do? When Chihiro died, when Mondo killed him, because Chihiro's actually a dude, when Chihiro died, he moved him into the girls' locker room, but left him on the floor with the dumbbell lying next to him. So it was just a regular crime scene where it's like, Chihiro's body on the ground lying dead with the dumbbell next to him, and with the crime scene having been swapped. But Byakuya saw the whole thing, and to make the murder more interesting, he tied Chihiro's body up in the way to intimidate a Genocide Jack case, to make it seem like Genocide Jack had killed Chihiro, for no other purpose than to make it more interesting. Because the entire time he knew it was Mondo. He could have just said, it's Mondo. It's straight up Mondo. But he took someone that he knew. He took someone that he was living with. Took their dead body and basically just tied it up to make it seem like it was someone else. Just to make it more interesting. It's just, that's disgusting. Taka is going to try to kill you. What?
indeed.
Also, he can keep her to himself.
This is
Yeah, it's horrible.
completely unforgivable.
Honestly,
Can we allow him to continue with those barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? I have to save her.
actually,
Then, would you like to join me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. Huh? I have devised a way to reclaim what he stole and escape this dreadful school. And with that, it is complete. What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Fumi agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love. Even a love as twisted as that can still drive people mad, it would seem.
You
disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume of Fumi's creation?
Indeed.
Yeah, and it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him to do was make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he'd make something like that, but it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But...
So, why did you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the part about him playing dead?
What she's asking is, what was Hifumi supposed to do after that, assuming you would actually let him live?
Are you okay with
That's simple. After he had done his part and pretended to be dead, once someone showed up, I told him that he'd been seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he just barely held on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained to Hifumi, the plan was, while you were all questioning him about what had happened to him, I was going to murder someone else. At that point, Hifumi would have an alibi, so nobody could doubt him. I told him that, and he believed it. It all seems very straightforward. Stereotypical. Well, I said sorry for insulting her. I'm just gonna go ahead and take that back. Yeah, she deserves everything that's coming to her. I just matched up the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it all up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
So in the
end... So you had planned to kill him all along!
But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself. How can human life mean so little to you? That is a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
Don't be mean!
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about
No,
that.
he derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, fudge, I clicked it. We are nothing alike. Then, what made you take things this far? Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? That is a lot of money, it's true. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here has begun, my only thought has been escape. But all you've been saying, all along you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
You little bitch!
Obviously, that was a lie.
Hey!
I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone else here. I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And do you want to know why? Huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting life here would mean nothing less than giving up that dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I'd risk my life to make a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And what was that dream of
isn't it
yours?
wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butler/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires and satisfy my every need. Once I had obtained that, I would have created the perfectly aesthetic world of the
This is
decadence.
fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only dream, and my only goal. That's what life is all about! Combined with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million would have made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge,
There
but
is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I don't have any regrets.
Just
I
the
pursued my
worst.
dream wholeheartedly. Fudge, I clicked again. To the very end, so why would I? You sound so passionate, but you were really able to kill your own friends for it?
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing of sacrificing others for my own ends. I feel nothing.
do you understand?
That's all there is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it as terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying. And plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Why aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unrivaled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people. I can even fool my own emotions. The consciousness deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared?
Yes, indeed.
That's right. I don't fear death.
Kill me however you like. But you know, if only I can be reincarnated. If I had a choice, then
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I would like to come back as Marie Antoinette.
Hey.
You just get executed again.
Celeste smiled then, and when she did, it looked to me like a poor effect to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement itself must have been her final lie, and that weak, fake smile is what betrayed her.
You all done? Okay, let's get this rolling.
The Blackened disturbed the peace and must pay the price.
Hey, welcome to the stream, Nick. We just finished the trial, and now we're getting to the execution. You just missed it.
Now then, I have prepared a punishment
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
You're just in time for the execution, though.
Guess I'll let Kyoko hold on to this.
What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why, actually, it's not important. Well then, take care, everyone. Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Punishment time? Yep. Celeste has been found guilty. Time for punishment. Actually, I'm not gonna mess with it. The burning of the Versailles Witch. And Celeste is dead. Nana. She was burned alive and then got run into by a fire truck. It's decently simple execution, but I like it for its simplicity. Like, honestly, if without the fire truck, it still would have been fine. It might have actually been better without the fire truck. Just, like, leaving it there. Just a very, very simple, effective execution. Yeah, I'm very disappointed I didn't even get to see her dead body. Yeah. If I have to... Okay, I'm trying to think of which execution that you like the most. I won't spoil who it is, but my favorite execution probably has to be either the first or second one of the third game. Probably the first, because the first one is freaking brutal. And it's a way to start it. Like, probably the beginning of Danganronpa V3 probably has the best opening trial of any of the 3 games. If I had to rank them, it would probably be the second game having the worst first trial. The
first game having the second best, because it's a pretty simple one, but has a pretty good twist. But then, the first one of the third game is freaking great. It honestly is probably one of the best trials in the game, and one of the best overall chapters. It's so good. But it's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I can't also deny that at one point I considered her a friend. Are you gonna play the third game? Well, of course I have to play the second game beforehand. And for him just to come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone couldn't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, so more people had to die. You guys are still young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
V3. It also suggests that there is a second game. Jeez, and here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope to the next generation.
Let me out of here.
What do I care about hope? I'll just throw it in the trash if you let me out of here. You're all the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes it is, but that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you going to make us keep going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give it a rest already. So anyway, Kyoko, did I see you get some kind of key-type object from Celeste? So, what's the deal with that?
What?
Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine. What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey.
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh, how exciting.
I mean, oh geez. What do you mean, what did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? Mastermind did something to Kyoko's body. What does that mean?
Hello.
Okay, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here.
Well?
Meanwhile, you guys can go on enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya later.
See ya! Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. There was one small hope. Hey Kyoko, Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
So...
Most likely, it's the key to one of our dressing room lockers. What? That means... Celeste probably hid it in there. I suppose it's easiest to miss what's right beneath your nose. Well then, we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed to our dressing room. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back to us and said,
Hey.
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check in with you later.
What?
What exactly are you going alone?
So...
Why exactly are you going alone? Do you even have to ask? As she spoke, she quickly glanced at the surveillance camera.
Come on.
That's not what I meant. Why you? There's still a risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please, let me go. Standing here arguing is just going to draw more attention to us. Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
Well then.
Then it's up to you now.
Yo.
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So Makoto and Kyoko are gonna go together? Does that mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like her are total pushovers when you show a little backbone. I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then...
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key as Celeste had given her and unlocked the locker. And as the locker swung open, we saw... Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It was like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I just stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and... I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow. I'm doing my best, so please just wait a little longer. So, now we can officially say the case is closed. As far as this incident is concerned, sure, but can we take a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me, what are you trying to do all on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come in here with me?
However...
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? That just makes me even more worried. Worried? Like what happened during the investigation last time? You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you do that...
Indeed.
It's only natural that they think I'm the mastermind spy, right? And you too. No! I believe in you.
What?
You believe in me? Isn't obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
It's true.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then...
That's fine.
Fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see? What I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, it kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I'd believe in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I had to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes, so I waited for nighttime to come, and when it did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it, and the storage closet there, way in the back... She said it was way in the back of the boys' storage closet, bathroom storage closet, but could Kyoko really be right about this? It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret Kyoko told me about, could it really be hidden here? She said it was way in the back of the storage closet, but I mean, seriously? Without thinking, I placed my hand on the back of the storage closet, and suddenly, as if I were being yanked in. Gashunk! At the same time I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. I had fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out, the back of the wall was like a revolving door, and I just made my way to the other side. Just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
In the boys' bathroom on the second floor, there's a storage closet, and way in the back of that closet, there's a secret room. Gashunk! So this is the secret room, but what's in here? Got papers. Didn't mean to click on that, but okay. There's a bunch of files. Well, it looks like a volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything, one file at the edge of the bookshelf caught my eye. Hope's Peak Academy Student Registry? Is this the only thing? This is the only thing in here not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand. Before I had a chance to take a look at it, a slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. What's this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I could understand if it said, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What is this? My head feels funny. This strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them somewhere before, but I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know? Oof! A strange sound rang out through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth, and then darkness. I don't understand what's happening. I don't know what it started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long it had been. Ow. Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's all I understood. The dull, throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. The empty bookshelf. Empty? Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that had fallen onto the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head had begun to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should go back to my room, get some rest. My body was heavy with pain, my mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back toward my room. somehow I made it back to the first floor of the school. The further I walked, the more I felt. Things are getting blurry, can't see in front of me. Couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there, and after that... As if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It was faint, but undeniable. That sound, it's coming from the gym? As I desperately hauled my shaky frame towards the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? It can't be nothing. Here in the gym? I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sounds coming from inside, meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Before me there raged a battle beyond anything humanly possible. No, one side's not human, that's for sure, but regardless, I couldn't stop staring. I forgot to move or even breathe.
Why, you? What do you think you're doing? I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me? This wasn't part of the deal!
The deal?
I've made a decision. I will no longer retreat. No longer compromise. No longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but
okay.
You do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage? Then could it be? The mastermind spy is... And there's 7 students left. To be continued. Super Robo Justice present. And I think with that, we're gonna have to end it here. We've been streaming for 2 hours now. We've been streaming for 2 hours now, and I don't want to jump into anything more. Because it's good to just keep kind of like the trials and everything separate after the fact, but yeah. How was that, everyone? Celeste turned out to be the ultimate mastermind behind the killing. Hifumi got in on the killing. Celeste is an unforgivable character that I hate even more because I didn't even realize, because I remembered she was the killer. I remember that. I didn't realize how she had gotten Hifumi into it. Like, how she got Hifumi to fall for it. Because that's freaking awful. Not only that, something is wrong with Kyoko. There is a secret room with, in the boys' bathroom. We apparently recognize the words, you must not leave, and Sakura is the mastermind spy. Boom! By the way, Jojo, are you still confused how the whole third murder went down? I'm gonna switch over to facecam. Are you still confused about how the whole murder went down? That's a fun. It's a decent one. Could have done better with the hero, but pretty well done case. I like it. It's pretty good. Yeah. And it just gets crazier from here on out. Like, first one, simple killing. Second one, you get the twist of Chihiro being a guy. You get the twist of Toko's actually has different personalities, and one of the personalities is a serial killer. You get the twist of Mondo all of a sudden and his backstory. You get this one where there's multiple killers, and there's accomplices. You have the twist that there's an AI that Chihiro invented. You have the twist that Sakura is actually the spy. You even have the twist of that there's someone in a mask that knocked you the heck out. And you also have the mystery of what's actually going on in the school, what's going on with Kyoko. And as the game progresses, it stops being as simple as the first trial and becomes more and more confusing, with more and more twists and turns and mysteries that need to be revealed. That's what I freaking love about these games. Yeah, Celeste, we got one character out, but it becomes more and more confusing and more mysterious about what's actually going on. And that's why the 6th chapter is always my favorite chapter in these games. Because that's when the twist gets revealed. And that's where you just freaking lose it. Yeah, get sucked into it. Yeah, freaking, I love these games. I love these games so much. The twists and the mysteries and the characters are just so good. Well, some of the characters, most of the characters. You got the jerks that you just want to absolutely murder. But you have the mystery, the intrigue, the concept itself, the twists and turns that you go along, the characters that you get to meet. There was something else that I wanted to say, but I forgot. But yeah. Okay, so this is the part where I sum up the 3rd chapter and my thoughts on it. But I think I've already done this throughout the course of this trial. It's not my favorite. It's definitely not my favorite in the game. My personal favorite was the past chapter and the chapter coming up, because I really enjoy the chapter coming up as well. Also, obviously, the 6th chapter in every single game, because that's when all the twists come out, and that's where all stuff goes down, and you start losing it, because you're like, what's going on? But, like, there was 2 deaths, which, so far, there's only been 1 per, so 2 deaths all of a sudden, it's like, dang, people are dying quick. The tiny twists of Hiro was too obviously the killer, and it was such an obvious choice that it couldn't be. But Celeste being the mastermind behind it all, the fact that Hifumi didn't actually die when we first saw him, that's a good twist. The fact that it's them leading them on a wild goose chase when the killer doesn't actually exist, that's freaking clever. The order of the hammers is clever. I like the little details in it, and the fact how we uncovered how Celeste was most definitely the killer, it being saying those guys when she only knew that one person was dead. Should have known that only one person was dead. One thing that seems kind of Deus Ex Machina is the whole last name thing, where her actual name is Taiko Yasuhiro, and it just happens to be someone's first name. You can chalk it up to coincidence, I guess, but it seems kind of like lazy writing and a very, very obvious red herring. I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, feel like you could have done something more complex with it. Yeah, and making the weird stuff up, because you don't know what's gonna happen. Stuff gets confusing. There isn't much character development in this one. We had the character development of Taka trying to live out his dead friend's life, and trying to still be with him. However, obviously, that doesn't happen, and he gets immediately murked this time. So you don't get to see any further development from Taka. But there's no character development from anyone else either, except possibly Kyoko, who we get to find out there's something else wrong. She doesn't know Monokuma has done something to her. And that's a mystery that has all of a sudden been introduced. Not only that, the end of this one really starts getting a lot more into the mystery of the school itself, because overall, it's been kind of like pushing it off, where it's like, oh, we're just stuck here, but it doesn't discuss any of the other stuff. It just kind of like pushes it aside for now and just kind of focuses on developing the characters and having each trial be interesting. But then this one, it truly introduces the idea of there's something else. There's something else going deeper in the school. Why would there be this hidden room in the boys' bathroom? What is this mysterious person that knocked us out? What is so important in all those files that got taken away? Why do we recognize you must not leave? Why are we here? And it really introduces that. Which is going to become a bigger and bigger deal as the story progresses. And then Celeste's character being unforgivable. Yasuhiro actually showing that he has a brain. And figuring something out. Or, he's kind of an idiot, which is why I call him, like, the ultimate stoner. Because he seems like one of those guys. Not to be stereotypical, but he seems like one of those guys. He's literally said that he got held back, and he's of legal age to drink. But then, there was something else I was gonna say. Fudge, what was it? Also, yeah, Sakura, being revealed to be possibly the spy, and her fighting Monokuma. The mystery of what is Monokuma holding hostage over her. And that's something that's going to be discussed in this coming up chapter. There was something else that I wanted to talk about that I'm forgetting now. Fudge. I can't remember it. I can't remember. But overall, one of the better chapters. Not the best in my opinion, but not the worst. If I had to say the worst, it would probably be the 5th one coming up. The first one was good. Good introduction. Obviously, like, it's an introduction. It's not the best. Second and 4th one is probably, like, up there. Very up there. 6th one is, like, has to automatically be my favorite, because that's when everything gets revealed, and that's where you start losing it. But besides, like, the 6th chapter, if I had to rank them, it would probably go 2nd/4th, with the 2nd one being slightly above. 3rd, 1st, but very close, and then 5th. Because the 5th one's kind of stupid. I'm not revealing anything, I'm just being very, very vague with it. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to have to end it. I will possibly stream Monday, I don't know, I'll let you guys know. But, this is where I'm gonna have to end it. We just finished chapter 3, going into chapter 4. Who else will die? Who will be the killer? And all that and more in the next stream. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!